Which unexpected movie totally, whoa, blew you away?
I'm gonna have to go back through the Wayback Machine, back to when Keanu Reeves wasn't the resurgent global superstar he was in 2019, back to 2014, John Wick, 2014 when John Wick 1 came out. I remember being excited for it because I remember Keanu Reeves from stuff like Point Break and Speed, and also Dracula, where he had the really bad English accent, but it's also kind of great because he's so good in it.
The Matrix is really good too.
Yeah, The Matrix too, and basically John Wick looked as though it was going to be kind of, it came around after the Expendables had come out. You've seen a bunch of action stars kind of come out and having a resurgent, like, we're going to go back and do kind of our gimmick and what we were known for. And then John Wick came out and I was like, okay, interesting, they're leading with the whole his dog gets killed and that's what sets him off. And the first 50 minutes of that film completely floored me when I watched it. I ended up not catching it in cinemas, but I got it on DVD and I watched it that way. And the first 50 minutes, the emotional connection, the way they build up this dog and his dead wife is honestly, I was like, oh, okay. And then going from there, when the dog is killed, you're just fully in on it. You're like, yeah, shoot him, just headlock him and go pew pew and double tap him everywhere, because it's great. Because honestly, that film, the way it establishes the lore of the character, and Reeves as well, the way he sells that presence, the amount of training he's done for that role. I don't know if you've seen the clips of him going around gun ranges and just looking like a trained killer and being like, oh, Keanu, please don't kill me. You're really attractive, but don't kill me, and that sort of thing. And then like the way that lore has been built up in the sequels as well is incredible, to the point where now John Wick is a massive money-making machine. With that first film, I didn't have any massive expectations. I like Keanu Reeves. I like action movies. I thought him going around and doing loads of cool stuff with a really bopping soundtrack in the background would be really cool. And the full actual film itself was one of the best action films ever released, and then the sequels improved with each entry. So, John Wick.
Do the line.
He killed a man with a pencil.
Well, there's a thing that came out back in 2006 called Smokin' Aces.
Yes!
Yes, Mr. Wilborn, Mission Impossible 2 Farm. I think that... so there's something about Smokin' Aces. It was one of those like banter films where it's very heavy dialogue driven. Kind of like Lucky Number 11, kind of what Guy Ritchie does with Snatch and Lock, Stock and all that kind of stuff. But very much like an American take on that approach, which I love. And the cast is ridiculous. I still don't really get how this film came to be, because you have everyone from Jeremy Piven to Ben Affleck to Ray Liotta to Ryan Reynolds. And I guess some of them were just in it because they maybe weren't as big global superstars as they might then go on to be. I guess Reynolds was in there because he just did Blade Trinity and you could get him for like a $5. But for the most part, Smokin' Aces has this incredible cast, and it's just about Jeremy Piven being this magician kind of guy, this showman who like does a whole bunch of deals with the mob, and everything goes sideways, so he gets locked up in a big hotel and he's on the very, very top of it. And one of these other gangsters puts a hit out on him, so it's just an excuse to kind of do this like proto superhero style thing where all these different gangs, like warrior style gangs, get called to try and follow up on the hit to take out Jeremy Piven, and they all end up going to the hotel at the same time, and it's just a big old bloodbath as they all wipe each other out and try and attempt to get to Jeremy Piven, as you have this great story in the background as to all the stuff that happened with Piven and his roles with the gangs beforehand. And there's just, I wouldn't want to spoil it, but there's a whole bunch of twists in regarding to, you know, what he was up to beforehand, which I just love. And you have this emotional stakes too, because Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta are our partners. They're the only police presence there, so they're sort of in the middle of everything else, Die Hard style, trying to survive, as all the other gangs are all blasting each other to smithereens. And I just love it. I love the editing that's in it. It's very inventive with a lot of its camera work. You have sort of, I don't know, early days attempts at what we would now think of as drone photography, where your camera's following stuff through the hotel during the shootouts themselves. And I just think it has a lot of style. The dialogue's incredibly punchy, the soundtrack's great, there's a Trivium song in it, and just the whole thing, it just ticks every single one of my boxes, alongside inventing boxes I didn't even know I wanted ticked. Smokin' Aces is brilliant, never seen the sequel.
Mine was Swiss Army Man, otherwise known as the farting Daniel Radcliffe corpse movie. Which, before it came out, that was entirely what it was sold on. It was like this gimmick film about Daniel Radcliffe is a dead person who turns up on a beach and he starts farting all over the place. He is the mad farter, and somehow, well, I'll explain the plot because it is more than that. So at the beginning of the film, Paul Dano is trapped on an island and he's got no way of escaping. He's got a noose around his neck. He's about to end it all when suddenly the corpse of Daniel Radcliffe, I think he's called Manny in the film, he washes up on shore. So he goes to check it out and he realizes he's kind of alive. He can't really move. He's obviously got like rigor mortis and stuff and he's dead, but he can fart. He's a gassy corpse, as the official description describes him as. But he's more than a gassy corpse. Paul Dano realizes not only can he make a friend with this man, but he's a Swiss army man, so he's got all of these different, like, I don't know, weird abilities that you can use his gas for to get him off the island. So he starts making like slingshots with his body, and like he can use them to stop damage and stuff and climb up this otherwise unclimbable mountain to escape. And it sounds very much like a gimmick film, which is why I wasn't sort of on board with it. I thought that's all it's going to be. It's going to be one-dimensional. It's going to be a meme. It's going to be trying so hard to be a cult film. And it kind of is, but it also has like heart. I found myself getting emotional over this farty corpse, over the mad father. There's this really tender moment where Paul Dano has like this bust that he's done out because he really wants to go back and impress this girl on the mainland who he's in love with. And he kind of like imagines, I think, Daniel Radcliffe is this girl, and he's like sharing this weird tender moment with her, and he's like made this effigy of it's weird, but it's also quite sad. And eventually he does get to see the girl, and he turns up and he's all haggard because he's been living on an island, and obviously she's like, who's this freak? Like who's this freak with his corpse buddy who's just rocked up on me lawn? So she doesn't accept him, spoilers, and it's sad. It's really sad, but the bond they've made, they help each other. It's what true friendship's all about. Farting corpses and just sorting your mate out when the girl he likes doesn't like him back because he's a big weirdo, and you know he's a big weirdo deep down, but you can't really, you've known him your entire life, so you've just gotta be there with him.
Aww.
It's so good.
It is so good. Swiss Army man.
Okay, so we go to the cinema quite a lot. I love going to the cinema, and sometimes I'm going to see things that I've never heard of, I've never seen the trailers for, purely because Meerkat Tuesdays or Meerkat Wednesdays, am I right? It used to be Meerkat Mondays, and it made so much sense, but anyway, now it's Tuesday and Wednesday. So this was a time I was going basically like off someone else's recommendation. Let's go see 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And I thought, what the heck is this title? What the heck is this film? Whatever. It's a free trip to the cinema. We'll go and see it. So expectations were pretty low. And I watched it, and I'm a very emotional person, and I was in bits. By the end of it, all the way through, it's so well done. The acting in this film is absolutely incredible. It stars angry, sassy mother, also stars sad family man policeman. It stars delinquent Jakey man policeman who has this amazing arc throughout the story. I'm really bad with names. He just has Sam Rockwell, I'm pretty sure is his name. The grumpy Jakey policeman. He has such a good arc. Honestly, this film is worth going to see just for the character progression. And just if you fancy a good cry, because it has a twist in the middle that I just did not see coming that will honestly warm you, Adam Wilborn, to your core. And it was just the nicest surprise, and I recommend it wholeheartedly. No farting corpses, but still good.
Right, I like animated movies, but I went through a phase in like 2012, 2013 where I was like, are animated movies bad now, or have I just grown out with them? Because I'd seen like somebody made me watch Despicable Me on DVD. I was like, I don't get this. Is this meant to be like cutesy? And I just didn't get it. And I was like, you know what it is? I'm past it now. And then on a whim, I went to see the Lego movie because I was like, right, here we go. Yep, it's a cheap cash grab. Yeah, it'll be completely pointless and stupid, but I guess I like Lego. How bad can it be? And I just sat there in total like magical childish wonderment for 1 hour 41 minutes and thought, holy smokes, it's actually not me. It's actually animated films were just bad for a while, and this is like perfectly recapturing every single thing about what I liked about the thing it's based on, because it's not just like, it is a stupid film, it's a stupid like all over the place story with daft characters pulled from different franchises, just like Lego used to be. But then you get to the twist, which, apologies if you've not seen it, is like, oh, it's actually real, and they're all just playing with it, or are they, or is it all sort of going on? It's just like, this is exactly what it was like to play with Lego, because so much of it is just like, they show you the spaceships and everybody flying around and all the action happening, but they leave just enough little gaps for your imagination to have to fill in the rest of it. Like, are they actually alive? Is this all actually happening? Is this just like the little story the kid's doing, or something to do with his dad? And it really revitalized my interest in anything that was fun, because I think I was on my way to being miserable until I saw that film, and it really caught me off guard, and I owe that film a lot. Lego Batman sucked though.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. That was the whole message of the film. Everything is awesome. Sat there during the trailers going, yes, Lego, everything is awesome.